Question 16. Consider the following statements. Some mushrooms have medicinal properties. Some mushrooms have psychoactive properties. Some mushrooms have insecticidal properties. Some mushrooms have bioluminescent properties. How many of the above statements are correct? Only one, only two, only three, all four. So this is an interesting question. I was not able to find the source of all the question, but this is an interesting question because I could discuss some tricks or tips you could say that you could use to solve such science based question. We usually see such questions from science category. You could use this information. I wouldn't say it is 100% foolproof, but this is pretty useful strategy you could use to solve such questions. So one source, before discussing that, I have cited one source. I will just show you the source. In the source it says throwing light on the importance of mushrooms. This news appeared on June 2022, so prelims preparation phase. So it is from Kerala, state Kerala. And so if you see in this news, various importance of mushroom is being discussed, and it says here, for humans, mushrooms are economically important as source of food, and for their application in areas such as brewing, fermentation, pharmaceuticals, dye industry, and various ecosystem related roles. So we have it just says mushroom is useful in various industries. So that is the only information you will get from this news, but that is good enough. So if you go back to the question, in the question it says, first one is some mushrooms have medicinal properties. So already it is in the news, it says it is used in pharmaceutical industry. So this could be true. So one is true. So psychoactive properties, there is something called magic mushrooms, which has some psychoactive properties connected to it. So even that is there. Then some mushrooms have insecticidal properties, and some mushrooms have bioluminescent properties. So even insecticidal properties, if you see the news I showed, it was saying nothing related to insecticidal property, but and nothing was mentioned about bioluminescent properties also. So here is where we have to use the approach we should be doing with such questions. So here the keyword is some, and if you think for this statement to be false, the questioner should verify that there are no mushroom with insecticidal properties. So imagine such a statement appearing in any sources from which he could have picked that up. Some particular importance, some it shouldn't be some isolated source also. It should be from a very reputed, dependable source. Just imagine such a news coming. There are no mushrooms in the world which have an insecticidal property. Only then this statement becomes false. It only says some mushrooms have insecticidal properties. If it was saying all mushrooms have insecticidal properties, then it could be wrong in multiple ways. So, but here it says some mushrooms. So for this statement to be false, no kind of mushroom should have an insecticidal property. So if you think about that, the chances for that is pretty low, and you could say this statement, there are high chance that this statement is true. It applies, the same logic applies for this also. Even though it sounds weird, if a questioner has picked up a statement and put it here like this, he must have seen somewhere saying some mushroom varieties have bioluminescent property. Otherwise, this statement would not be here, because for this statement to be false, the questioner should be absolutely sure that no mushroom in the world has a bioluminescent property. So that is very difficult to verify itself. So he has to go through every possible source and make sure that no mushroom in the world have bioluminescent property. So that is pretty hard to do. So if you think from the questioner's perspective, There are high chances that all these four statements are true. Even if you don't know any information, with that logic itself you could take a guess on this question. So this is a tip from my side. I'm not saying this is 100% foolproof, but in most of the question, when there are vague statements that is coming from science area, where some technology or some stuff is said to have some properties or some uses benefits, mostly it is true. So I'm not saying it is always true. They never uh, put up false statements like that, but yeah, mostly it is true. And in certain questions, like in certain questions, it will be like some agents or something, some products have this benefit, probably that product have exact opposite benefit. So in such question that could be easily wrong, but here it is not of that nature. How would I say? You say there are some material which have water absorbing quality. If a statement says that product has water repelling property, that could be totally wrong, because the opposite is the true situation. Here it is not that kind of statement. So some mushrooms have bioluminescent properties. Opposite is non-bioluminescent. Some mushroom having non-bioluminescent property does not make this statement false. Some mushrooms still have bioluminescent property. Yeah. So I hope you understood the point. But this is a tip you could use for such question. Otherwise, I think I didn't find any source which was discussing about mushrooms having bioluminescent property. I don't know where the questioner picked this statement from, but yeah, I think he just wanted to pick up some weird properties or weird benefits of mushrooms and put four statements. Whatever. So say question 16, all four are true is the answer I am assuming. So yeah, that is question 16. Let's go to the next question.